I've been waiting for Huyen for 7 years. I asked him on the night of his 25th birthday. You promised me the ring. Will you return it? He took out the ring box from his pocket. I just reached out. He turned around and handed the ring to Su Tang. Don't you like it? Let's play with it. The whole room laughed. Su Tang put on the ring and raised her hand towards me. Huyen looked at me. Yiji, don't force me with your village's rules. I didn't get the ring back. I pushed the door open and let in the night wind. I said, good. Then I'll go back to the village and get married. Chapter 1. The light in the box was turned down low, and the smell of alcohol mixed with perfume lingered in his throat. There is a 3-layer cake on the table. The candle was half burned, and the wax dripped down along the number 25. Huyen sat opposite me, with the cuffs of his white shirt rolled up to his wrist bones, spinning a silver lighter in his hand. Snap. The flames burst into flames. Destroyed again. I stared at that spark, my fingertips pressed against the wall of the cup, my joints stiff with the ice water. Friends are still heckling. Yiji, make a wish. It's 25 today. Mr. Hu should give me an explanation. You two have been dragging your feet since college until now, and your children are already able to do so. Huyen looked at me and twitched the corner of his mouth. She's not in a hurry. My hand holding the knife stopped. The butter stained the blade of the knife, making it dazzlingly white. I said, I'm in a hurry. The box was quiet for a moment. Huyen's lighter snapped shut. Su Tang sat next to him, holding the red wine glass between his fingers, and his nails were painted brightly. She said with a smile, Sister Yiji, it's your birthday today. Don't talk about such serious topics. I looked at Huyen. I'm 25. I told you before, the rules in our village are that if you are not married when you're old enough, you have to go back and register. It's not a joke. Huyen leaned back on the sofa. In what age are you still using village regulations to oppress people? It felt like there was a piece of ice stuck in my throat. I didn't press you. I'm just asking you if what you promised me 7 years ago still counts. Someone coughed at the table. Someone lowered his head to check his cell phone. Su Tang put down the wine glass and gently touched Huyen's sleeve with his wrist. Brother Yen, Sister Yiji cares about you too much. Huyen glanced at her and then at me. Look, she is smarter than you. My chest tightened and my nails scraped against the paper plate, making a small sound. 7 years ago, Huyen put a plain ring on my hand at the back door of the school auditorium. His father had just passed away at that time, and the whole family was in chaos. He stood in the rain, his hair soaked and his hands shaking violently. He said, Yiji, wait for me to stand firm. I will definitely marry you. I believed it. He was short of money to start a business, so I sold the first set of silver jewelry that my grandma left me. He had stomach bleeding, and I stayed in the hospital for 3 days and 3 nights. He was forced to drink, and I blocked him until he vomited blood. Groups of people changed around him. I'm still here. Everyone said that Yiji was lucky and followed Huyen. Only I know that I am about to be torn to pieces by the marriage urgent calls from the village. Grandma was coughing and out of breath on the phone last night. Yiji, 25 is a hurdle. You can either bring him back to pass through the silver gate, or come back to pick up the silver medal. Don't make your ancestors wait for you. I asked Huyen, where's the ring? Huyen's eyes became colder. Do you have to make a fuss today? I spread my hands. You promised me. He stared at my palm for 2 seconds and suddenly smiled. That smile hit my eardrums like a cup dropped into the sink. He took out a dark blue velvet box from the inner pocket of his suit. My breath stopped for half a beat. There were cheers in the box again. I'll go, it's true. Mr. Hua hides it deeply. Yiji, pick it up quickly. The smile on Su Tang's face froze. Huyen opened the box. Inside lay a diamond ring. The light fell and stung my eyes. I just raised my hand. Huyen turned his wrist and handed the box to Su Tang. Didn't you say it looks good? Let's play with it. Su Tang was stunned. Someone next to me gasped. My outstretched hand stopped in midair, with my palm empty and my knuckles curled up a little. Huyen didn't look at my hand. He looked at me, his voice low. Yiji, I hate people forcing me the most. Especially if you force me to get married. Su Tang's eyelashes fluttered. She wanted to push the box back. Huyen pressed the box into her palm. Put it on. Su Tang looked at me. She slowly raised the corners of her mouth, picked up the ring, and put it on her ring finger. The ring is a bit loose. She curled her finger and shook it at me. Sister Yiji, Brother Yen is joking with me. I looked at the ring. My stomach felt sour, and the back of my tongue was numb with bitterness. Huyen said, See, the ring is just a thing. Don't take it too seriously. I took my birthday hat off my head and put it on the table. A crease is pressed into the edge of the paper hat. I said, You're right. Huyen's eyebrows moved. Yiji. I didn't look at him. I picked up the bag, unzipped it, and put my phone, ID card, and keys in. Su Tang's smile faded. Sister Yiji, where are you going? I walked up to her. She subconsciously hid her hands behind her back. I reached out and took her wrist. Her wrists were thin, and her skin was cool. I lifted her ringed hand and held it up to the light. Don't pick it. You wear it. It fits just right. Su Tang's face turned pale. Hua Yan stood up. Yi Ji, that's enough. I let go of Su Tang. That's enough. Hua Yan, it's been 7 years. I can't wait any longer. He stared at me, anger in his eyes. You walk out this door and don't come back tonight. The door handle is cold. I unscrew the door. The wind in the corridor came in through the cracks in the fire window and blew the candle flames around. I looked back at him one last time. He stood under the lamp, still holding the empty ring box in his hand. I said, rest assured, I'm going back to the village. Marry someone. Chapter 2. When Hua Yan chased me out, I had already reached the elevator entrance. The high heels scuffed the heels and blood stuck to each step. I pressed the down key. The numbers jumped down from 28. Hua Yan's footsteps stopped behind me. Yi Ji, have you had enough trouble? I stared at my reflection in the elevator door. His collar was slightly open and his brows were filled with anger, as if I owed him an apology. I said, no trouble. I'm leaving. He laughed. Where can you go? I introduced you to your job in Beijing. Ask people to find the apartment you live in. Half of the people you know are in my circle. Yi Ji, don't talk nonsense. The elevator dinged. The door opened. There was a young couple standing inside. The girl was holding flowers and the boy was holding a cake. When they saw us, they shrank into the corner. I stepped in. Hua Yan reached out to block the elevator door. Come out. I looked up at him. Hu Yan, I got into my job by myself. I will transfer the apartment rent to your assistant every month. I will never see the people in your circle again. The veins on the back of his hands were stretched. Just for a ring? I smiled, but my throat hurt. Not a ring. You treat me as something you can play with. The girl in the elevator bit her lip and glanced at Hu Yan. Hu Yan's face darkened. Don't embarrass me in front of outsiders. I reached out and pressed the door close button. You know how embarrassing it is. The door pinched his wrist. He frowned, but still refused to stop. I looked at the hand. I held this hand all night when I was receiving an infusion in the hospital. He had a low fever and said he was cold, so I stuffed his hand into my coat. Now I just feel like I'm in the way. I said, release. He lowered his voice. Yi Ji, if you go downstairs now, I won't pick you up. Think clearly. The elevator door hit again. I lifted my feet and stepped on his leather shoes. The heel grinds down. Hu Yan took a breath and finally removed his hand. The door closes. In the last crack, his eyes were like knives piercing my face. The girl whispered, Sister, your feet are bleeding. I lower my head. The blood on the heels stained the edge of the shoe red. I rummaged through my bag for tissues. But his fingers touched a string of silver bells. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. A small bird is engraved on the bell body. It is said in the village that the silver bird knows the way. As long as you take it with you, even those who are separated can find their home. The phone vibrates. Grandma's video came in. I'm connected. On the screen, Grandma was sitting by the fire pit with silver pieces hanging behind her back. The firelight illuminated the lines on her face deeply. Gigi, did you ask today? I looked at her, my eyes sore from the wind. Asked. Grandma coughed twice. What did he say? I got a lump in my throat. The elevator reaches the first floor. The door opened and cold wind and rain rushed in. I walked out. He said a ring is just a thing. Grandma was silent for a long time. The firewood in the fire pit exploded. She said, that person is also a thing. I laughed out loud, tears hitting my phone screen. Grandma said again, come back. The silver gate will open tomorrow. Your grandpa polished the silver metal 3 times. All the young people in the village are back. It's okay if you don't marry, just come back first. I stood at the door of the club. The rain was heavy, hitting the steps and splashing on my skirt. Someone called me from behind. Yi Ji. I looked back. Su Tang chased out, with Hu Yan's suit draped over his shoulders. She still wears the ring on her finger. The rain hit the drill surface, and the light shattered into pieces. She stood on the steps, her voice trembling. Don't get me wrong, Brother Yan didn't mean that. I looked at her. Then what does he mean? Su Tang's lips moved. He just wants you to submit. He's determined that you won't leave. I nodded. Thank you for telling the truth. She turned paler. Do you really want to go back to the village to get married? I stuffed my phone back into my bag. What does it have to do with you? Su Tang grabbed my wrist. You can't leave. Her nails dug into my skin. Brother Yan will blame me if you leave. I opened her hands one by one. When you received the ring, didn't you think he would blame you? Her eyes turned red. He gave it to me. I didn't steal it. I looked at the ring on her ring finger. Right. So hold on tight. Don't drop it. I turned and walked into the rain. The taxi stopped on the roadside. I opened the car door and reported to the airport. The driver looked at me in the rearview mirror. Girl, are you going to the airport at night? I said, go home. The car drives out. The lights at the entrance of the clubhouse are getting farther and farther away. Huyen did not chase him out. The phone lights up. He sent a message. Come back when you've calmed down enough. I stared at those 7 words. Finger holds down the delete key. The screen is blank. The wipers swung from side to side, scraping a clear line on the road ahead. Chapter 3. At 3 o'clock in the morning, the announcement from Beijing Airport rang over and over again. I was sitting in the waiting area with a band-aid on my heel, throbbing in pain. There are more than 20 missed calls on the phone. Huyen hit 3. The rest are all mutual friends. Yiji, are you really leaving? Huyen's face looks ugly. Come back quickly to comfort him. He's like this. It's not the first day you've known about it. Su Tang cried and said you scared her. I didn't reply to any of them. I clicked on Huyen's chat box. His latest message was half an hour ago. Go back to the apartment before 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I'll pretend it didn't happen tonight. I watched it for 3 seconds and blocked it. When the prompt popped up, my palms became sweaty. It turns out that if someone is cut off, the sky will not fall. There is just an empty space in the chest, and the wind passes through it. Before boarding the plane, Liang Su called me. He was my college classmate. After graduation, he went to the Southwest to make documentaries on ethnic crafts. He contacted me several times before and wanted to photograph the silver jewelry heritage of our village, but I rejected him. Huyen doesn't like my frequent visits to the village. He said those tinkling things were earthy, noisy, and useless. I'm connected. Liang Su's voice sounded sleepy. Yiji, your grandma said you were back? I happen to be in Qianzhou, and we'll go into the mountains tomorrow. Are you alone? I said. He paused. Where's Huyen? I looked out the glass. The lights on the tarmac were connected in a row, and the rain crawled down the glass. He gave the engagement ring to someone else. The sound of a chair scraping against the floor came from the other end of the phone. Liang Su cursed. His brain got caught in the door? My throat relaxed. Maybe 7 years. Liang Su was quiet for 2 seconds. I'll pick you up at the airport. Don't say no. The mountain road is difficult to walk at night. I'm familiar with it. When the plane landed, the sky was just turning white. The air in Qianzhou smells of earth and grass. I dragged my luggage out and saw Liang Su. He was wearing a black jacket, his hair was shorter than before, and he had a camera hanging on his shoulder. He reached out toward me. Give me the luggage. I would say no. He has already taken it. What's wrong with your feet? I looked down at my shoes. Blood seeped out again. Liang Su squatted down and took out cotton wool from his backpack. Sit. There are people coming and going at the airport exit. I want to close my legs. He looked up at me. You've been gone all night, and now you want to try? I sit down. When the medicine was applied to the wound, I inhaled in pain. Liang Su stopped. Bear with me. He moved gently. I looked at his lowered eyebrows and suddenly thought of Huyen. Huyen never does this kind of thing. He would just hand me the card. Go buy your own medicine. Don't make it look like I'm bullying you. Liang Su put the gauze on and stood up. Let's go. The car drove up the mountain road. There was heavy fog outside the window, and the shadows of the trees receded layer by layer. The phone vibrates. Unknown number. I answered. Huyen's voice came out of the receiver. Yiji, are you blocking me? I tightened my grip on the phone. Is something wrong? His breathing became heavier. Where are you? On the way back to the village. Who gave it to you? I looked at Liang Su, who was driving. He stared straight ahead, his fingers on the steering wheel. I said, friend. Huyen sneered. Mail? I said nothing. His voice was colder. Yiji, if you are angry with me, you must have some restraint. You ask him to stop the car now, and I'll send someone to pick you up. I told you I'll pretend last night didn't happen. I closed my eyes. A gust of cold wind came through the cracks in the car window, blowing away the last bit of sleepiness. But it happened to me. Huyen stopped. I said, Huyen, I want to go back to the stronghold and pass through the silver gate. From today on, don't look for me. He lowered his voice. You dare. I hang up. Liang Su glanced at me. He'll come after me. I turn off my phone. Let him chase. At the end of the mountain road, the clouds and fog dispersed. Rows of stilted buildings are exposed, with silver bells hanging from the eaves. When the wind blows, the whole village is buzzing. Grandma stood at the gate of the village with a cane. Behind her, her grandfather was holding a silver medal. My name is engraved on the silver medal. Yishi. I got out of the car. When Grandma saw my feet, her eyes immediately turned red. She raised her hand and touched my face. Lost weight. I hugged her. Silver bells ring in my ears. Grandma patted my back. Just come back. The silver door is open. Chapter 4. The silver gate opens under the largest wind and rain bridge in the village. Both sides of the bridge are hung with red cloth and silver pieces. The stream flows under the bridge and hits the stones with a splashing sound. The girls and boys in the village are all dressed in costumes. Silver crown, silver necklace, silver bracelet. When the sun shines, your eyes are filled with light. Grandma put on the silver clothes that I had hidden for 7 years. The clothes were so heavy that my shoulders hurt from the pressure. Each silver leaf is engraved with lines. Grandma said, "This is what your mother left for you. She wore it when she walked through the silver gate and chose your father." I touched the edge of the silver leaf. "Grandma, can I not choose?" Grandma looked at me. "Ken, the rules don't force you to get married. The rule is to tell those people outside that not everyone can drag around the girls of our Yi family." The tip of my nose felt sore. Grandpa shouted outside the door, "Gigi, the time has come." I walked out. Drums sounded under the bridge. The clan elder stood at the end of the bridge, his voice passing through the crowd. Yi, the silver medal daughter of the Yi family, returned to the village at the age of 25. If there's a marriage contract, the man can cross the bridge with the bride price. If there is no engagement, the silver medal will return to its place and a name will be chosen in 3 days. The crowd fell silent. I stood in the middle of the bridge. The wind blew the silver pieces, making a tinkling sound. The clan elder asked, "Yi, is there anyone outside who can grant you a title?" I hold the silver medal. Huiyan's hand, holding out the ring, flashed in his mind. Su Tang's raised finger flashed past, flashing past the faces in the box watching the show. I said, "No." The clan elder asked again, "Is there anyone who holds the precepts as evidence?" I raised my hand, but it was empty. No. There were low murmurs under the bridge. Grandma's crutch struck the stone slab. The whole place fell silent. The clan elder looked at me. "Then you are willing to return the silver medal to the village and choose a name in 3 days." I was about to speak. The sound of a car braking suddenly came from the direction of the village gate. Dust rises. Yan got out of the car, his suit wrinkled and his eyes bloodshot. Behind him were assistants and Su Tang. Su Tang had no makeup on her face, and the ring was still on her hand. Everyone in the village looked over. Yan strode to the bridge and was stopped by 2 young men. "Outsiders, stop." Yan looked at me. "Yi, come down." I stood on the bridge, my silver clothes weighing my shoulders, but my feet were steady. The clan elder frowned. "Who are you?" Yan said, "Her boyfriend." Grandma sneered. "What kind of relationship does a boyfriend have?" Yan gritted his teeth. "I am her fiancé." Someone under the bridge looked at Su Tang's hand. "The fiancé's ring is in the hand of the girl next to you." Su Tang suddenly hid his hands in his sleeves. Yan looked back at her. "Take it off." Su Tang froze. "Brother Yan, pick." Su Tang's hands started to shake. "The ring is stuck on the knuckle and cannot be removed." Someone in the village laughed out loud. "Quick when you take it, slow when you pick it." I looked at Yan. His forehead twitched and his voice became lower. "Yi, I'll pick you up. I did what I did yesterday." "You go back with me first," I said. "Where's the ring?" He reached for the ring on Su Tang's hand. Su Tang inhaled in pain and shed tears. "Brother Yan, it hurts." Yan stopped. I laughed. "Stop pulling it out. Dirty." Yan's expression changed. "Yi." I held up the silver medal. "Elder of the clan, I would like the silver medal to return to the village. From today on, Yi has no extramarital contract." The drums boomed. The clan elder took the silver medal and hung it on the bridge. Yan wanted to rush forward, but was held down by 2 young men. His eyes were fixed on me. "Yi, do you know what you are doing?" I walked off the bridge step by step. The silver pieces collided together and made a crisp sound. I walked up to him. "No, I don't want you anymore." Chapter 5. Yan settled outside the village. He couldn't get used to living in a wooden building. His assistant booked a hotel in the county, but he insisted on staying at a B&B in Jaiko. It rained the first night, and the roof leaked. The next day, his eyes were black and blue, and the collar of his shirt was wet. When I went to the silver shop, I saw him standing at the foot of the stone steps. He had ointment in his hand. "Have you changed the dressing on your foot?" I walked past him. He put out his hand to stop me. The stove in the silver shop was blazing, and the smell of charcoal fire mixed with hot metal came out from the door. I stopped. "Get out of the way." Yan handed over the ointment. "I went to the county to buy it last night." I looked at the pill. Over the past 7 years, I have been sick many times. He never remembered which medicine I was allergic to. I said, "I don't have to." His voice dropped. "Yi, don't do this." "I know I embarrassed you on the bridge yesterday." I raised my eyes. "You come here, do you still think it's a matter of face?" His Adam's apple rolled. "I did not mean that." Su Tang caught up from behind. Her fingers were swollen, and when she finally took off the ring, she pinched it in a tissue. "Sister Yi, give the ring back to you." She handed the ring to me. I didn't answer. She was anxious. I know I was wrong. Don't make trouble with Brother Yen because of me. I looked at her. Where did you go wrong? Su Tang opened his mouth. I shouldn't wear it. No, I said. You are wrong in thinking that you win when a man throws someone else's promise to you. Her face turned pale little by little. Huo Yan frowned. Yiji, don't say such ugly things. I laughed. Hard to hear? When you gave her the ring, did it sound nice? In the silver shop, Grandma looked up. She holds a silver hammer in her hand. Boom. Hit it with a hammer. The silver piece is bent against the mold. Grandma said, Gigi, come in. I walked around Huo Yan. Huo Yan followed and tried to enter, but was blocked by Grandma's crutches. A silver shop does not accept people who have bad intentions. Huo Yan's face turned pale. The children in the village gathered not far away to watch him. Some people learned from him. A ring is just a thing. A group of children burst out laughing. Huo Yan's assistant wanted to drive people away, but the young man in the village glared back. I sat down by the fire. Grandma put a piece of silver in front of me. Beat. I picked up the silver hammer. The first blow made my wrist numb from the shock. The second time, sparks flew up. With the third blow, the lump on the chest that had been blocked for a long time was broken open bit by bit with the sound of the hammer. Grandma said, Your mother left early, and your father was useless. The silver veins of the Yi family cannot be broken. Outsiders look down on silver jewelry and say it's rustic. But we've lived on this for hundreds of years. I stared at the silver piece. Grandma, can I pick up? She held my wrist. You should have picked up earlier. Liang Su stood at the door with a camera. He didn't take pictures of me, only the fire. Firelight danced in his eyes. I have already thought of a title for the documentary. Silverbird returns to the mountain. Grandma looked at him. Xiaoliang, you can take the photo. But don't make us Gigi look ugly. Liang Su is serious. I'm so ugly. You chase me with a hammer. Grandma snorted. I couldn't help laughing. Outside the door, Huo Yan's face darkened when he saw the scene. He turned to his assistant. Check that man. There is also this village project. I don't believe she can really stay here her whole life. Chapter 6. Huo Yan's counterattack came quickly. The next day, someone from the County Cultural Tourism Cooperation Association called the elders and told them that the intangible cultural heritage booth originally planned for our village would be cancelled. The reason is that the information is incomplete. After hearing this, Grandma put down the tea bowl in her hand. The information was handed in by me myself. The clan elder frowned. The person in charge of sponsoring the exhibition is Bei Qinghua. Everyone in the room looked at me. I sat on the wooden bench and held the hem of my skirt with my fingers. Huo Yan. He thought that if he pinched the booth, I would bow his head. Liang Su turned the computer over. I have backup here. The information is complete and there is a receipt on time for submission. But they don't express the sponsor's opinion openly. Grandma looked at me. Gigi, you do this. I was stunned. Grandma pushed the silver medal in front of me. The silver medal girl of the Yi family is not only capable of crying. I picked up the silver medal. It was heavy and the edges touched the palm of my hand. I called Huo Yan. He picked up quickly. Have you figured it out? I turned on speakerphone. The room was quiet. I said, Did you ask someone to vacate the booth? Huo Yan did not deny it. Yiji, you've been out here for a long time. You don't know that some things can't be solved by just having a temper. You go back to Beijing and I will help you recover. I said, Huo Yan, you are so dirty. The person on the other end of the phone took a deep breath. What did you say? I said you were dirty. I used the project to force an old man from a village, and I used the livelihood of dozens of silversmiths to force me to turn back. You just looked down on me before. Now I don't even have the face. Huo Yan said coldly. That's what shopping malls are like. Don't speak so harshly. I looked at the receipt on the table. Good. Then let's go by the shopping mall. I hang up. Liang Su looked at me. What are you going to do? I spread out the information page by page. What can give money, and so can others. The Intangible Cultural Heritage Exhibition has more than one entrance. If the county wants traffic, I will give them traffic. Liang Su's eyes lit up. Live streaming. I nodded. That night, we held our first live broadcast in Yinfang. The camera is focused on the stove, on Grandma's hand, on a piece of silver leaf being hammered out of lines. I sat next to him and explained every step of the process. There were only a few dozen people at first. Later, Liang Su sent out the cut films. The title is short. She waited for 7 years and was sent back to her hometown with a ring. The comments exploded. This silver jewelry is too awesome. Who was that man, giving the ring to someone else? Sister, don't look back. I want to buy a silverbird bell. Orders jumped from a dozen to hundreds. Grandma's hand shook. Are these all real purchases? I nodded. Really bought it. The young people in the village rushed into Yinfang. Sister Ji, the county cultural tourism account forwarded it. Provincial and Taiwanese reporters have also contacted Brother Liang. The clan elder patted his thigh. Huo is nothing. My chest felt hot as I watched the orders scrolling on the screen. The phone rang again.
Huyen.
I didn't answer. He hit 3 times in a row. I turned off the ringer. Outside the window, the rain stopped. The silver bell under the eaves was blown by the wind. This time, he wasn't urging me to leave. It tells me to stand firm. Chapter 7. On the day the provincial and Taiwanese reporters entered the village, Huyen also came. He was wearing a dark trench coat and stood behind the crowd, with no blood on his face. The reporter handed me the microphone. Ms. Yi, I heard that you were working in Beijing. Why did you suddenly come back to take over the silver jewelry? The camera is pointed at me. Huyen also looked at me. I touched the silver bracelet on my wrist. It's not sudden. I walked out of here and never really left. It's just that someone made me think that going home was the way out. Now I know that home is my way. The reporter asked again. Many people on the internet are paying attention to your relationship experience. Is it convenient for you to tell me? Huyen took a step forward. Liang Su blocked the camera and his eyes became cold. I looked at the camera. Convenient. I was waiting for a promise. In the end, that person casually gave the promise to someone else. I don't want it anymore. There was a murmur in the crowd. The reporter asked, what if he regrets it? I said, regret is his business. It's not my business. At the end of the interview, Huyen stopped me. There were people around, but he didn't dare to pull me this time. Yiji, let's talk. I said, there's nothing to talk about here. He looked at Liang Su. Get out of the way. Liang Su stood still. She said she wouldn't talk about it. Huyen's eyes were gloomy. In what capacity do you speak for her? Liang Su loget? At least I didn't give the ring to the wrong person. Huyen raised his hand to push him. I stood in front of Liang Su. Huyen's hand stopped in midair. He looked at me, his eyes cracking for a moment. I used to always stand behind him, block him from drinking, gossiping, and all embarrassments. This was the first time that I stood in front of others and looked at him. Huyen curled his fingers tightly. You protect him? I said. He did nothing wrong. Huyen stared at me. I made a mistake, I admit it. I got the ring back. He took the ring out of his pocket. The diamonds are polished brightly. But I only saw Su Tang smiling at me while wearing it. Huyen handed me the ring. Yiji, come back. I didn't answer. The surrounding lenses haven't been removed yet. Everyone in the village also watched. Huyen's hands froze in the air. I said, Huyen, do you know what is most taboo about silverware in our village? He said nothing. I said, avoid 2 fires. Silver that has been burned once can be remelted. But the cracks will be hidden inside. If you wear it for a long time, it will still break. I turned around and walked away. He shouted after him. Then what do you want me to do? I stopped. Don't show up. Huyen's voice became hoarse. I can't do it. I didn't look back. Then just watch. Look, I don't need you. Chapter 8. Su Tang came to see me at night. She stood at the door of the silver shop, her hair wet from the rain, and her eyeliner was dizzy. My hand stopped closing the oven door. Why haven't you left yet? She crossed her arms and her teeth chattered. Huyen doesn't want me anymore. I looked at her. You shouldn't say this to me. She walked in, leaving a series of watermarks on the soles of her shoes. He blames me. He said if I hadn't worn the ring, you wouldn't have left. But it was obviously him who handed it to me. Her voice shrilled. Yiji, why? He chased you and cursed me. He doesn't want you, and he won't let me get close. Who am I? I put down the poker. The iron tool made a loud sound when it hit the stone platform. You asked the wrong person. Su Tang started to cry. I know you look down on me. But you have been together for 7 years, and he has always had women around him, and you have tolerated it. Why can't you bear it when you come to me? I looked at her. After she finished speaking, she was stunned. This sentence is too dirty. It was so dirty that she couldn't even swallow it herself. I walked up to her. Because I'm not born to endure. I couldn't bear it before. I can't bear it now. I'm the one who woke up. Su Tang covered his face. What should I do? I said, take off the false victories others give you. Go by yourself. She slowly lowered her hands. Will you forgive him? I laughed. Won't. She stared at me as if holding on to the last thread. Real? Real. Her shoulders relaxed. After a long time, she took out a voice recorder from her bag. I recorded Huyen's call to ask people to move out of the booth. And his assistant contacted the marketing account and said that your store was selling badly and was trying to create hype. I took the recorder. Why give it to me? Su Tang wiped her tears. I don't want to be his tool anymore. She turned and walked to the door, then stopped. Yiji. When the ring was put on that day, I thought I had won. Later I realized that he could do this to you, and he could do this to me. I said nothing. The rain pounded on the eaves. She walked into the rain, and her back was quickly swallowed up by the night. The next day, the recording went viral. Hua's public relations issued a statement overnight saying that it was an employee's personal behavior. But Hu Yan's voice was clear in the recording. She won't last long. If the booth is broken, she will come back naturally. The comment section was filled with abuse. Hua's stock price fell at the opening. The partners have suspended signing contracts. Hu Yan called me more than 70 times. I didn't answer any of them. In the evening, he appeared at the gate of the village. This time, he didn't bring an assistant. Rain dripped down his hair. When he saw me, his voice became hoarse. Yiji! I was wrong. I walked over holding an umbrella. The edge of the umbrella blocks half of the view. He wanted to get closer, but stopped. I didn't know you would really let me go. I looked at him. You do not know? Hu Yan, I've said it many times. You didn't listen. His lips turned white. I thought you couldn't live without me. I nodded. I thought so before. Tried it now. Nung Li. Chapter 9. Hu Yan knelt down at the gate of the village on the early morning of the third day. That day happened to be the opening day of the Silver Bird exhibition. A booth was set up in the county square. Our village's silver jewelry is on the main display. Grandma's silver crown was placed in a glass cabinet with the name of the inheritor Yi Ji written next to it. When I went downstairs in silver clothes, I heard a commotion outside. The little girl from the clan ran in. Sister Ji, that Mr. Hua is kneeling at the gate of the village. Still holding the ring in his hand. Grandma frowned. Unlucky. I walked out. The morning fog has not cleared yet. Hua Yan knelt on the bluestone road, his knees wet. His suit was stained with mud, and he held a ring box in his hand. There were many people around. Someone took a video. Someone scolded. He seemed unable to hear. Just look at me. Yiji, I've been to Inmen. The clan elder came out leaning on a staff. The silver door is closed. Hua Yan looked up. I'll make up for the betrothal gift. I will give her all 3 properties and shares in 2 companies owned by the Hua family. The people in the village were in an uproar. I'm standing on the steps. I don't want it. Hua Yan's voice trembled. Then what do you want? I walked up to him. I want the you who treated me as a human being 7 years ago. His eyes were red. I can change back. I shook my head. There's no going back. You didn't lose anything. You crushed it with your own hands. A low gasp escaped Hua Yan's throat. He held the ring high. Yiji, please. Give me another chance. I looked at the ring. The wind blew over and the silver bells rang together. I reach out. Hua Yan's eyes suddenly lit up. The next second, I took the ring, turned around, and walked to the stream. He stood up and wanted to chase. Liang Su and the young men in the village blocked him. I opened the ring box. The diamond flashed in the morning light. I threw the ring into the stream. Thump. A little white flower splashed on the water, but it quickly disappeared. Hua Yan froze in place. His hand still held the box. Empty. I said. It's clean now. Hua Yan staggered a step. He wanted to speak, but only a broken sound came out of his throat. I turned around and got in the car. Liang Su opened the car door for me. Hua Yan suddenly rushed over, knelt by the car door, and grabbed the door frame. Yiji, don't leave. I really know I was wrong. His tears hit the car door. 1 drop. 2 drops. I looked down at him. I've fantasized about it many times before. He begged me in front of everyone. Give me the ring. Give me a name. But at this moment, I just feel tired. I said, Hu Yan, you are kneeling in the wrong place. You should kneel down and go back to 7 years ago. Ask you at that time why you lost me. I closed the car door. The car starts. In the rearview mirror, Hu Yan was kneeling on the road, shrinking smaller and smaller. Finally, it was swallowed up by mountain fog. Chapter 10. The Silver Bird exhibition was packed with people. The spotlights lit up in rows. I stood in front of the showcase, my palms pressed against the silver metal, and my palms were covered in sweat. Grandma patted the back of my hand. Afraid? I said. Kind of. Grandma laughed. It's okay to be afraid. If you are still standing if you are afraid, you are the descendant of the Yi family. The host read my name. I walked on stage. Off the stage, I saw Liang Su holding a camera. He didn't shout, come on, he just said it with his mouth. Speak slowly. I picked up the phone. Hello everyone, my name is Yiji. I am the 19th generation inheritor of Ye's silver jewelry in Inkei village, Qianzhou. This set of silver crowns weighs 3 kilograms and 6 taels. My grandma has been fighting for 14 years. Every silver leaf must go through fire, water, and hammer. It's the same with people. Only when you have gone too far will you know whether you are soft or not. The audience fell silent. I saw a girl wiping her eyes. I also saw reporters zooming in closer. I continued. Many people ask me if I have no regrets after being slighted for 7 years. Regret. There was a low sound in the audience. I tightened my grip on the phone. I regret not going home sooner. I regret that I put myself in someone else's hands and didn't take a look until he remembered. So today, I hung up the silver bird again. It's not someone's bride price. It's my name. Applause broke out. First one or two. Later, it filled the entire hall like raindrops. Grandma stood up and tapped the ground with her cane. Behind the lens of Liang Su, his eyes were a little red, but he smiled with his teeth exposed. After the exhibition, the Provincial Intangible Cultural Heritage Center signed a contract on the spot. Our silver jewelry orders are scheduled for half a year. The county gave the studio a support quota. Grandma thrust the contract into my hand. Sign. I watched the tip of the pen fall. The character Yiji is written very steadily. At the celebration party in the evening, everyone danced in the square. The sound of silver bells, drums, and laughter was so lively that it woke up the entire city. Liang Su handed me a bowl of rice wine. Would you like to take a sip? I took it. The wine was very spicy and burned my throat,